Hey guys, it's Monday, 8th of April 2024 at 20 past 7 in the evening. We have a total solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So we're going to get straight in here to the energies of this eclipse so that we can discover or try to understand what is actually happening in the skies at this current time, because the intensity is building as we speak. And so many people are on edge. It's like a release has to occur or a breakthrough has to occur in order to relieve some of this tension and intensity that's building everywhere. So let's look at where the actual eclipse energy is focused. In a chart set for Belfast, we can see the accumulation of energy here in the sign of Aries in the 7th house. So we have the Sun, Moon, Chiron, Mercury, and the North Node are all in Aries. Aries is a cardinal sign, it's fire, so this is bursting forward with energy and adrenaline and excitement. It's about starting new things. And when we're in the 7th house here, it's about partnerships, relationships. So the problems in this country, in particular in Northern Ireland, we have the age-old relationship issue between unionism and nationalism, or Protestant or Catholic, whatever way you want to name it yourself, or whatever way you see it. This could be new beginnings in partnerships and relationships going forward. To me, it seems like a closer union. We're so close now to a closer union between resolving differences so that we can move forward. And that's what the 7th house energy is all about. It's about partnerships, joining together in agreement and trying to come to a resolution so that we can move forward. Now, this particular eclipse is ruled by Mars because Mars rules the sign of Aries. And Mars is just here in the 6th house, which says, I'm in here to do some work. This is the 6th house of daily routine and getting things done. And it's in Pisces, and it's in a very close applying conjunction with the planet Saturn. The planet Saturn generally rules over rules in particular, literally, and discipline and structure and setting rules and strategic plans and things like that in place so that things work with some kind of structure. So these planets are in the sign of Pisces, and Saturn generally does not like the sign of Pisces because he cannot be in control as much as he would like to be. And the thing about Pisces, Saturn creates boundaries, and Pisces tends to dissolve all boundaries. So Saturn itself there is in a bit of a complex kind of sign with lots of things going on. It's trying to structure certain things, and Pisces is saying, no, 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 no. Saturn wants the boundaries and Pisces wants to dissolve them. So there's a bit of a difference in agreement there between the energies about what's actually going on. But one of the themes of Pisces is oneness and doing away with boundaries so that everything can become one and gel together. Okay, so Mars is the ruler of Aries. So it basically rules over this eclipse energy. And with Saturn now, we could say that we are moving forward to a state of oneness, and we are working towards that, okay, unity, so to speak. So let's go on and see what else we can see here with the energies of this eclipse. Now, the eclipse occurs at 19 degrees and 24 minutes of arc of Aries. So does the asteroid Chiron. It appears at the exact same degree and minute of arc as the eclipse occurs, 19 degrees 24. So Chiron is right in the heart of this eclipse energy. But what Chiron represents is the wounded healer. That's the name Chiron has been given, because Chiron in mythology was a very skilled warrior, and trained soldiers in the battlefield, also trained other people in different things like astrology, the healing arts, medicinal medicines, natural medicines, things like that, schooled and philosophy, education. Chiron was a master teacher, but he ended up having a wound. He was injured by a poison arrow, and that wound could never heal. So Chiron dedicated his existence to trying to overcome that wound, trying to heal himself from a wound that could technically never be healed. So what Chiron helps us to do is learn from past experiences. It helps us to overcome things. So the important thing about moving forward with this eclipse energy is to remember past experiences and what actually happened there. Keep the memory of the past hurts and do not repeat those same mistakes, because we live life, we learn lessons, and we don't want to repeat those lessons. And if it comes to humanity as a whole, then we stay stuck. We do not move forward as a race. So the Chiron energy with this eclipse is about coming to terms with deep wounds, personal shortcomings. It's learning acceptance of your own personal mistakes or your own limitations, knowing what you can do and what you cannot do, what you're capable of. And it's also about learning and developing new skills. And this can support a new and individual path. Okay, so it may even materialize that you find a mentor to help you on your new path, or you may become a mentor to someone who wants to begin a journey on a similar path to yours. So the Chiron energy here is very significant with this eclipse. And with the Aries, of course, it's about going full steam ahead. It's going ahead with these new plans and what you want to achieve and what you want to do. So when we look at the chart, again, with the actual shape of the chart, every planet and asteroid is contained within this section here. It's like a wedge or a bundle. And what this does is create like a concentration of energy put into a particular section. So it really concentrates the energy of the universe at that particular time into a section. So all the planets are contained between Pluto and Uranus here. And what Pluto does, Pluto represents is transformation at the deepest level. So that's at the deepest psychological level of your existence. Transformation, rebirth. So that's a very strong, powerful theme which is taking place here at this side. And then Uranus is how you change things, change the status quo. It's how you upgrade. It's how you reinvent what's already there. It's how you take things to a new level. So that can be through intelligence and having the ideas and the creative initiative to get things going. So all the planets are contained with these two transpersonal planets on either side. So one is a deeper psychological change, and the other one is about reinventing and getting new things started. And I've said here that Pluto leads the way post-eclipse. So why do I say that? Because all the planets are moving around in a clockwise fashion, like this here. And Pluto is currently under the horizon, which means it's in the darkness. And the line going straight across is the actual horizon. So anything above this is daylight, and this is the ascendant here. So after this eclipse, Pluto will be the first planet to cross the horizon, coming into light, signaling great transformation is taking place. And then all the other planets follow in suit in their order. So then next week we'll have Mars and Saturn. We'll be trying to create structure and discipline, strategy for the long term. Then we have the Venus and Neptune, which represents oneness and love of everyone connected together. And all this Aries energy is like entering a new stage, a new project is beginning, a new way forward is illuminating on the path ahead of us. And then once we get to grips with that and where we're going, then we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction coming up as well, which really expands anything that's changing, explodes things out of all proportion, really amplifies the energy of this massive change that we are currently going through. So indeed, this eclipse could be seen as the gateway to the future. Okay. So in the chart for Northern Ireland, the eclipse energy at 19 degrees of Aries occurs on the IC, which is the Imum Coeli, which can be translated to the bottom of the sky. It's the lowest part, it's the darkest part, okay? And what it represents really is the roots, it's the foundation, and that's where growth begins. That's where the seeds are planted and where the seeds actually come out. And then what happens then is this signifies, because the eclipse energy is so potent and strong, it represents breaking through with new roots, new beginnings, and new vision going forward. So to say this is a very significant eclipse would be somewhat of an understatement. So let's just go quickly through what the eclipse is all about. So 19 Aries, it's a total eclipse because it's so close to the nodal axis. Those are the crossing points of the sun and moon where they meet on the ecliptic. It's a north node eclipse, which means a door is opening. So we are opening a new door to something new. So we want to embrace that. It also belongs to a Saros series, which we're going to go into shortly in one of the next slides. You'll be able to see this eclipse all across North America, and I'll show you the line, the plane where the shadow of the eclipse goes across, travels across. The time of the eclipse from beginning to end is 5 hours, 10 minutes. And this particular degree, 19 degrees Aries, will be active. If we translate that time in hours into years, that degree will be active for 5 years and 2 months, which will take us up to approximately June 2029. So if you have any particular points in your chart at 19 degrees of Aries, any other planet or transit to that particular point, whether it's a progressed planet or a solar arc planet, it will be reactivating this solar eclipse energy personally for you in your chart. So it's one you want to keep an eye on because the energy of this eclipse is so potent and powerful. It's about new beginnings and breakthroughs. You want to know where this is in your chart, what's occurring around this time for you. And will future transits to this particular spot be activated again once they pass this degree of 19 Aries? So, what is an eclipse? It's an intense, highly intense electromagnetic energy. It enhances a positive and negative polarity. So there's a coming and going, a pushing out and a pulling in, all at the same time. So the sun is the electric outer expression, it's your creative output, it's how you express out, and the moon is what you attract in to your inner realm, the emotion part of you, your feelings. So during an eclipse, the inner meets the outer, and there's such an increasing build-up of tension. And you'll notice this in people around. You know, you'll notice it everywhere you go. You notice it on the roads when you're traveling around. You'll notice it in shops, supermarkets, and work colleagues. You'll notice it through everyone, especially if their chart, which you're not going to know if their chart's affected by this eclipse. But you'll know the more extreme people who are acting more extreme, you'll probably be able to say, okay, they must be being activated by this eclipse. So there certainly is an increasing buildup of tension with this energy. The eclipse path is the red line going across North America there. Okay, traveling close to Washington, D.C., through northern Mexico, across past Houston. Okay. So there'll be lots of things in the news coming up, and especially with the earthquakes and tidal waves that have been happening recently. There's another couple of things that can impact that as well. Not just the eclipse is enhancing all of this energy, okay? But we're going to look at that in another slide as well. So let's go back to Aries. Aries is cardinal fire, so it's about pushing forward with intuitive ideas and excitement and adrenaline about starting something new. So it's about action, it's about speed, it's about getting things done, and it's using force to actually do it. So Aries is a very individual kind of energy. It's about the self, what the self needs, what the self wants to do, needs to achieve, needs to go after. So this is really about initiation. There's not a lot of patience when it comes to Aries, because Aries just wants it, and it wants it now. If it gets something in its head, it needs to be done. So it goes and does it. So it's about beginnings. It's a brand new cycle. This is direct motion. We're going forward, and the focus is with intensity. Think of the athlete who's taking part in a 100-meter sprint. It's about winning that race. Second or third, no good. It's about winning. So Aries is about getting to over that finish line first. Okay. War as well, because it's Mars ruled, it's one of the signs associated with war. And if you're going into war, you want to win. So it's that warrior fighting spirit. That's what Aries is all about. So it's about having courage and the bravery to go ahead and follow this new path. So in your own personal chart, you want to look and see which house is the eclipse occurring in, because this will activate a certain area of life in particular. So if it's the 7th house, it could be to do with partnership, marriage, relationship. If it's the 10th house, it could be to do with career or social status or something like that. So you'll know when you look, see what house it's in, and you'll have a good idea which area of life is going to change, and you're going to reinvent yourself or begin a new path. So is it also activating a personal planet or an angle? Because these are times of great change, and the eclipse energy will impact those particular planets that represent a certain thing in your life. So if it's Venus, it could be relationships. If it's Saturn, it could be career. If it's Jupiter, it could be education. So you'll have an idea of what planet it impacts, what is the likely outcome of this eclipse, and will it awaken something new to do with those particular themes. And some people have personal themes in their charts. So it could be like a T-square or a grand trine or some kind of a planetary configuration that could be awakened by this and start a theme of something completely new. Okay, so the Saros theme that this particular eclipse belongs to is a cycle which lasts approximately 1280 years. It's the Saros 8 North cycle, and this particular eclipse theme is all about breaking through with ideas, reinventing, inventing new things. It's about freedom as well, and understanding how much freedom you actually have in your life. And it can create tension in your private life and feel like you need to escape and find some freedom to allow you to do something you would rather be doing, something where you're stuck and you're going nowhere. So this eclipse has a theme of you need to breaking free, new ideas, that kind of theme. So it's already building and has been building, and there may be some kind of personal crisis waiting to kick in or explode, or hopefully nothing drastic occurs, but personal crisis, definitely. There could be something coming to an end or something about to begin. And we're going ahead here with this theme of this eclipse again. It's new vision, new clarity, new insight going forward. So the other things that are going on at the minute in the skies, We currently have Mercury in retrograde that began on the 1st of April and will last up until the 25th. And it's appears to be traveling back from 27 Aries back to 15 Aries. And actually hits the eclipse degree on the 16th of April. And whenever it goes forward again, hits the eclipse degree, that's 19 Aries, again on the 5th of May. So you may want to think what happened around the 21st when Mercury hit this degree going forward. And it was conjunct Chiron as well. So let's go back to Chiron about the wounded healer energy. Did this awaken anything? Did it awaken anything from your childhood, which made you remember where you used to be felt held back or restricted or wounded in some kind of way? Then we also have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction coming up as well, which is so close now. And Uranus is in Taurus, is associated with earthquakes and things going on with the actual Earth itself. So we have been seeing tidal waves and earthquakes recently. This may build up. And we've also had extremes in weather as well. Storms going on here at the minute. And that's also to do with the nodal axis being at its maximum declination in Aries and Libra. That also contributes to extreme weather conditions. So over the next 9 months or so, that will begin. We probably will still have extreme weather conditions, lots of rain and storms and things like that for another 9 months or so until the nodal axis moves on to the next sign, okay? And they go backwards as well, okay? So the next lunar eclipse is going to be at 26 Pisces. That will be on the 18th of September. And we have reached the end, and I'm just going to summarize. So the new moon eclipse in Aries is conjunct the North Node. So a door is opening and we are asked to go through full speed ahead. And with this significant new cycle that's about to begin. We are in a conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer. So we want to leave the past behind, so to speak. Remember where we are healed. Remember the mistakes from the past. Remember the lessons. And we want to avoid repeating those lessons. We want to learn from our past. We also want to acknowledge our weaknesses, where we are weak, and then we want to build strength in those areas as well. And the weaknesses are probably what we want to work on the most, because the things we are good at will come more naturally. We also want to work at that as well, but we need to work at both. So we can't ignore the weakness, because the weakness sometimes shows you the challenge that you need to face so that you can master it, okay? It's confidence building exercises. So then we are going to heal. We want to heal so that we can have a renewed spiritual vision going forward into this gateway to the future, into the new paradigm, so to speak. So we're embracing the change, because Aries is bravery, courage to go forward and begin a new path. And that's what it's all about. So the change is coming, so embrace it. So in terms of your own personal chart, I am available for personal consultations. And if anyone would like one of those to discuss the eclipse or anything else in the horoscope, feel free to look me up. You can find me on Facebook, or you can email me through the YouTube channel here. Please like and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you want to, you can buy me a coffee just to show some appreciation for sharing this information with you. And I hope everyone moves forward with new ideas. Embrace the change and go for it. Good luck and have a lovely weekend. And I hope you have a great total solar eclipse in Aries. Thank you.